morning, students. Today I am going to teach you some portions from zoology and biozoology students. Unit 1, reproduction is common for both zoology and biozoology students. Some more excess portions are there for the zoology students, that is on from the second chapter onwards. Now get ready with your rough note, pen, pencil and rubber. Unit 1 is reproduction. In zoology, Unit 1 is reproduction. In this reproduction, first unit we have 3 chapters. First chapter is reproduction in organisms. So part 1, I am going to teach the first part in chapter 1, reproduction in organisms. First of all, we have to know about what is reproduction. So reproduction, we know reproduction is the important and fundamental characteristics of living organisms. So reproduction, that is the fundamental and important characteristic feature of living organisms. So this reproduction is fundamental and important characteristic feature of living organisms. We can see the important features of the living organisms, reproduction also. The important features of the living organisms and the reproduction. Features of reproduction. So the first one is important feature of this reproduction is synthesis of protein and RNA. That is the first point. So when the reproduction starts, synthesis of protein and RNA starts first. Next, second one is replication of DNA. This replication of DNA means taking the Xerox copies of DNA. That is replication of DNA. Third one, cell division and growth. Because of the cell divisions, we know the organisms will grow. The fourth one, formation of sexual units. What are the sexual units? These sexual units are gametes, that means sperm and ovum. Gametes are sperm and ovum, and finally, after formation of the sexual units, fertilization will happen, and because of the fertilization, we will get the zygote. So finally, fertilization and formation of zygote. So these are the important features of reproduction. First one is synthesis of protein and RNA. Protein synthesis and RNA synthesis will happen. Then replication of DNA, making the Xerox copies of DNA material. Cell division and growth. Formation of sexual units, that means gametes, fertilization and formation of, because of the fertilization we will get the zygote. Then the two important divisions of reproduction. Reproduction happens in all type of organism that we know very well. Even though this virus is included in between the non-living and living organisms, it is also doing the reproduction by replication process. Now, this reproduction has two important types, that is sexual and asexual. Two types of reproduction are sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. We know sexual reproduction for the fusion of male and female gametes. In between this sexual reproduction, there is a fusion of male and female gametes. Two types of biparental. That is two parents are involving in this sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is responsible for the formation of new organisms. That way it is called as the uniparental inheritance. So asexual reproduction is always called as uniparental reproduction. That means so asexual reproduction. Second one is the first part is sexual reproduction. Second one is asexual reproduction. This asexual reproduction is uniparental. Because only one parent is involved in this asexual reproduction, and it is also known as uniparental reproduction. The main character of this asexual reproduction is they are not showing the variation. There is no variation in the asexual reproduction. So variation is not there. The individuals or the organisms which are produced by the asexual reproduction are identical. Identical means same as like their parents. So the second character of this first character is uniparental, and the second character is the organisms or the individuals which are produced by the asexual reproduction are same or identical. So identical. Identical means they are same as like their parents. So there is no chance of variation, and because of the absence of variation there is no evolution. So third point is no variation. Because of the absence of variation, there is no evolution happens by this asexual reproduction. So now we are going to study about the different types of asexual reproductions. Asexual reproduction and its types. Here various types of we can discuss the various types of reproduction in this class. First one, fission. First section is fission, and the second one is sporulation or spore formation. The meaning of sporulation is spore formation. The third one, budding. The fourth process is fragmentation. Next, fifth one, regeneration. And the last one is gemule formation. So totally 6 types of or 6 modes of asexual reproductions are there. First one is the fission, then sporulation or spore formation. Second one, third one is budding, fourth one fragmentation, then fifth one regeneration, and sixth one is gemule formation. First of all, we can study about the fission. What is the meaning of fission? Fission is dividing or splitting, segregation. So fission, there are 4 types of fission are there in asexual reproduction. First we can discuss about the fission. What are the types of there? Four types of fission is there. First one is binary fission. Then the second process, multiple fission. Then the third one is sporulation as like this, same category. Sporulation or spore formation. Then the last one is strobylation or strobylation. So in fission, we can see four types or four modes of reproduction, asexual reproduction. This fission is one of the type of this asexual reproduction. It has four types. First one is binary fission, multiple fission, then third one is correlation, last one is the strobylation. First we can study about the binary fission. We already know the meaning of fission, that is splitting or dividing. The organism, mother organism will divide into two. Binary fission, bi means two. Binary fission, bi means two. First of all, this binary fission happens in the lower organisms. Mostly this asexual reproduction is happening in the bacteria, archaea, protista and some of the multicellular organisms also. This binary fission, in binary, bi means two, the body of the mother organism will divide into two and finally we will get two daughter cells. Only two daughter cells we will get. So binary fission, two. First of all, in binary fission, the cytoplasm or karyokinesis. Karyokinesis means division of this nucleus will happen. We know the structure of amoeba. This amoeba has the cytoplasm inside the protoplasm, and this cytoplasm has the nucleus also. This protoplasmic membrane is the outer covering. So it has the irregular shape also. This binary fission, in this binary fission, irregular binary fission, here also four divisions are there. Before that, we can see the definition for binary fission. Binary fission means divides into two parts. First of all, karyokinesis will take place, division of nucleus. Then afterwards, cytokinesis, cytoplasm. After dividing the nucleus, the cytoplasm will divide into two parts. So first of all, binary fission and its types. First one, simple irregular binary fission. Then second one is longitudinal binary fission. Then the third one is transverse binary fission. Then the last one is oblique binary fission. So totally four types of binary fission is there in the binary fission. So fission has four types: binary fission, multiple fission, correlation and strobylation. In this binary fission, again it is divided into four types: simple irregular binary fission, longitudinal, transverse, oblique. This is because of the phases plan which is divided in the four parts. So plan is deciding the division of this organism. In simple irregular binary fission, the good example of this simple irregular binary fission happens in the amoeba. So amoeba is a good example for simple binary fission. We know the structure of amoeba. It is irregular in shape. It is not able to divide into two halves in any plane. So it is dividing in many plane. So first of all, we have to draw the structure of this amoeba. No particular shape is there, that is irregular in shape. Inside the body of this amoeba, we can see the cytoplasm, contracted vacuole and the nucleus. So it has no shape. The plane is also not, division of plane is also not decided in this organism. That's why it is called as the simple irregular binary fission. So at any phase it will divide. From the transverse or longitudinal or transverse oblique, any side it can divide. So first of all, when the division takes place, this contracted vacuole ceases. That means it will disappear. Then afterwards, constriction of this nucleus will be happens. So chromatids, RNA materials, water present inside, they will be constricted. So now the constriction of elongation of this binary fission in amoeba will take place. Then afterwards the cytoplasm then constricted. The constricted nucleus will divide into two pieces and each half of the organism will get one piece of nucleus. So after constriction of nucleus, the nucleus will be divided into two and they will be split on each part of this organism. Then finally cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means division of cytoplasm will take place in between these two nucleus. Now we are getting two daughter cells. With the top of nucleus, cytoplasm and the contracted vacuole will appear. For both the daughter cells. When they are attaining the maturity, these daughter cells are attaining the maturity, again these organisms will divide into two, they will continue their fission or reproduction. So this type of reproduction, that means fission, that is called as immortal. There is no death for these organisms. This is immortal state. So after receiving the daughter cells, they are attaining the maturity and afterwards these matured organisms also producing the young ones. So first one, simple irregular binary fission. There is no plane for these irregular organisms. That's why it is starting from any plane, transverse, longitudinal or oblique. Next one is longitudinal. This longitudinal binary fission happens in the euglena. We know the structure of euglena. It is elongated, tapering on the lower part. On the anterior end, we can see that gullet. That is the area for receiving the food items. And on this area, we can see the basal granule also. This basal granule is attached with the flagella. This euglena is the animal which is performing both the plants and the animal characters, because its body is covered with the plasma membrane as like the animals. There is no cell wall. Cell wall is absent. Inside we can see the chloroplast as like the plants. When the sunlight is absent, they are capturing the food through the gullet. They are using the gullet and capturing the food. Then inside chloroplast is present. When the sunlight is there, this chloroplast is absorbing the sunlight and doing the photosynthesis, and they are preparing the starch. So this euglena is considered as the plant as well as animal. So afterwards, when it is taking the splitting into two parts. First of all, the basal granule will divide into two. So, along with that basal granule, this old flagellum, the flagellum which is present on the mother's body, also will split into two. Then inside we can see the nucleus, and this nucleus is also first karyokinesis will take place. This nucleus will divide into two, and this nucleus will split on or migrate towards the one of the nucleus will migrate towards the other end. Now both the portions they got the nucleus. Now one basal granule is also present near the gullet. So this division of basal granule also 2. Now the basal granule is divided into 2. Along with that one basal granule, this flagella is attached. So another basal granule has no flagella. Now it is divided into 2. Now it is getting the 2 nucleus. Afterwards cytokinesis takes place. After cytokinesis, now the body is divided into the new organisms. One has a flagella, another has no flagella. With the help of the basal granule, it is producing the flagella again. Now both the organisms, both the daughter cells have the flagella. Now it is formed in a new organism. Two daughter cells we are getting in the nucleus. So this phase of plan is longitudinal. From one end to another end. That's why it is called as the longitudinal binary fission. So simple irregular binary fission, there is no plan. But in the longitudinal binary fission, it is longitudinal along the body from the top to bottom. It is divided into two. That's why it is called as a longitudinal binary fission. Next one is transverse binary fission. For this, a good example is paramecium. The shape of the paramecium is slipper shape. The body is covered with cilia, full body is covered with cilia. It is help for the movement of the organism. So transverse means it is divided into two. First of all, the nucleus, two types of nucleus is present in the paramecium. It is binucleated. Two nucleus is present. One is macronucleus, that is large nucleus. Another one is the small nucleus, that is micronucleus. So the large nucleus is called as the macronucleus. And the smaller one is called as the micronucleus. See, in between this lower portion has the gullet also. That is called as the gullet of oral group. It is responsible for the capturing of food items, small organisms. As mentioned, how it is reacting, gullet. Now, before starting the fission, first of all, this macronucleus will be elongated. Constriction will happen on the macronucleus. The main function of this macronucleus is it is responsible for the metabolic activities of the whole organism. The whole organism metabolism is controlled by the macronucleus. So constriction happens on the macronucleus and elongation. Afterwards, one piece of it will divide. This macronucleus will divide into two, and this one piece of macronucleus will migrate towards the first lobe. And the micronucleus, this micronucleus is also responsible for only for the reproduction. Now the micronucleus also divides into two, and this karyokinesis is now over. So one part of the macronucleus moves to the first part, Second part and the micronucleus. One part of the micronucleus also migrates towards the second part. Now the two pieces, they are getting the two types of nucleus, macronucleus and the micronucleus. After reaching this place, this micronucleus and macronucleus, they will enlarge in size. Then finally cytokinesis will take place in between these two organisms, in the transverse direction. That's why it is called as the transverse binary fission. Now we are getting two daughter cells. Afterwards, the gullet is formed on the second part of this organism. One daughter cell already has a gullet. The function of this gullet is capturing the food materials. So the second part of the organism also getting the gullet, it is producing the or forming the gullet on the particular area. Now cytokinesis happens. Now two daughter cells, they will get the maturity. When they are attaining the maturity, they are again dividing into two more organisms. Okay. Now these two organisms are able to produce another organism. There is no death for this organism. That's why it is also called as the immortal stage. Next, finally, oblique binary fission. This oblique binary fission is happens in the dinoflagellates. Especially in Serranium. Here the plane is oblique. Oblique means horizontal. If the organism is here like this, first of all karyokinesis, then as usual process, karyokinesis, then finally cytokinesis. The organism is here. Inside you can see the cytoplasm, outer covering the plasma membrane. Then nucleus is present on one end. First of all, constitution of nucleus and division of nucleus. Afterwards, this nucleus will move towards the another end and it will create the forms into the new organism. And then karyokinesis will happen on the oblique or the horizontal this area. Now we are getting two organisms with two nucleus. Okay, all the types of binary fission in asexual reproduction, binary fission is over. So binary fission means by two organisms, the mother's body will divide into two cells and they will be producing two daughter cells. The four types are simple irregular binary fission, longitudinal binary fission, transverse binary fission and the oblique binary fission. The simple irregular binary fission, the example is amoeba. It has no regular shape, that's why it is irregular. Every layer, first of all karyokinesis and afterwards cytokinesis. Longitudinal, the body of the organism will divide. A particular defined plane is there. It is divided on longitudinally. That's why it is called as the longitudinal binary fission. Example is Euglena. Then next one, transverse, that is transverse plane is decided for the division of the cell. That's why it is called as a transverse binary fission. Example is Paramecium. Last one is oblique, that is dinoflagellate Serranium. That's on the oblique area, the division. Next one is multiple fission. Second one, asexual reproduction. First division is fission. In that fission, these are the four divisions also. Then the second one is by multiple fission. In this multiple fission, the mother's body will divide into several pieces, and these several pieces will form the daughter cells. So, by the multiple fission, we are getting more than 2 daughter cells. That's why it is called as the multiple fission. So, in this multiple fission also, first of all, karyokinesis will happen. Afterwards, cytokinesis will happen. First, multiple fission in Vorticella. The body of the organism has cytoplasm as usual, plasma membrane. Inside the plasma membrane, cytoplasm is present, and the nucleus is also present. Now the nucleus, first karyokinesis, when it happens, the nucleus will divide into 2 or 3 mini pieces, and they will be split inside the body of the mother. The several pieces of this nucleus will be split all over the spread, and they will be spread all over the mother's body, and each nucleus is surrounded or encircled by the cytoplasm, a small part of cytoplasm. So, one by one, if all the nucleus is surrounded by the cytoplasm, again the division will happen in the same nucleus, daughter cells also. So, this after finishing all the divisions only, the major outer covering of the plasma membrane will rupture and releasing of the daughter cell. Number of daughter cells, more daughter cells will be present inside the body of mother cell, and they will be coming out. All the daughter cells are coming out. So, after finishing all the completion of all the nuclear division and encircling this particular nuclear piece into the cytoplasm, they will release the daughter cells out. So, multiple division is happening, repeatedly it is happening inside the mother's body. That's why this multiple division is otherwise called as the repeated division. So, this type of division happens in the Vorticella. Next example, this is the first example. In asexual reproduction, binary division we saw for each and every type. I taught only one example. Here we have 3 examples. Second one is the Plasmodium. This Plasmodium is the malarial parasite. Here the formation of this daughter cells are in 2 stages. First one is oocyte, and second one is the schizocytes or schizozooms. So the young ones or the daughter cells will be formed as in the same process of this Vorticella, but in 2 stages. First one is the oocyte stage, and the second one is the schizozoom. First oocyte stage, when they are producing the young ones, this process is called as the sporogony. And the daughter cells which are produced by this process are called as the sporozoites. And second stage is the schizozoic stage. In this process, through this process, the daughter cells are produced as like the multiple division in the Vorticella, and the organisms or the daughter cells are produced by this process is called as the merozoites, and this process is called as schizogony. So in Plasmodium, the same multiple fission takes place in two stages. First one is the oocyte state and second one is the schizozoic state. So in the oocytes, the process is called as the process of multiple division is called as the sporogony, and the daughter cells which are produced by the sporogony in Plasmodium are called as sporozoites. And the second stage is the schizozoic stage. By this they are producing the schizomerozoites, and these organisms which are produced by this process is called as the schizogony. And the third one is amoeba. Third example for this multiple fission is amoeba. Already we studied the binary fission. In the binary fission we studied this amoeba as an example. This amoeba doing the multiple fission during the unfavorable condition, extreme temperature level. If the temperature is extreme and the scarcity of food, when the scarcity of food happens, this amoeba is doing the multiple fission for their reproduction. So during this condition, when this amoeba is there, they will produce a young cyst, or cyst formation will happens around the amoeba. Cyst will be formed, that is very thick outer covering produced on amoeba. So this thick outer covering will protect the organism from the extreme level of heat and the scarcity of food. So inside the cyst what this organism is present now. Now inside the organism, when inside the cyst wall, when the organism is present, it is doing the multiple fission. The body of the organism will divide into several parts. First karyokinesis, then afterwards cytokinesis, and the nucleus will divide into several pieces, and each piece will be surrounded by the cytoplasm. Encircling the cytoplasm with the nucleus, it forms the daughter amoebae. So more amoeba will be formed inside this cyst wall. So this process is cyst outer covering, and this process is called as encystment. Now all these amoebas are with the pseudopodia, well produced pseudopodia also present on this amoeba. When the division or binary fission happens, already they will reduce the size of the pseudopodia. But here, in this multiple fission, after the formation of this daughter cells, they will be with the well developed pseudopodia. That's why they are called as pseudopodiospores. So what is pseudopodiospores? After producing this multiple division in amoeba in the unfavorable conditions, many daughter amoebae will be produced inside the cyst wall. All these amoebae will with the well developed pseudopodia. That's why it is called as the pseudopodiospores. When the condition is favorable, this cyst wall will be broken and the small daughter cells or the amoeba will come out. Now we are getting more daughter amoebae by these pseudopodiospores. So three divisions are there in the multiple fission. So in the fission, binary fission is over, and afterwards multiple fission, and the third process, that is gemule formation.
Finish it within another 20 minutes. Okay. Take one more. You have to teach for 1 hour.
Next one is sporation or spore formation. In this sporulation, as like that, spores will be formed inside the plasma membrane. When the number is increasing, the spores will be come out. So sporulation means spore formation. Next, last process is strawbilation. Fourth one, so third, strawbilation. For this strawbilation, this correlation example is amoeba. So amoeba is taken as an example for three processes. First one is the binary fission, multiple fission, then sporulation. The difference between this sporulation and the multiple fission is during this sporulation, like that multiple fission, it will not produce the cyst wall. Here only the plasma membrane is in the outer area, and in this outer area only plasma membrane. But here in the multiple fission we can see the cyst wall. A thick cell wall is present, that is cyst wall. But here only plasma membrane is present. After karyokinesis, each and every organism will be, this amoeba will be coming out on this area. This amoeba will be surrounded by the thick wall. So the thick wall is around each and every amoeba. Now these are called as the spores. When the condition is favorable, the plasma membrane will rupture and all these small daughter amoebae will come out. So we are getting more daughter amoebae like the spores. So amoeba is taken for sporulation, multiple fission and the binary fission. Then strawbilation. Good example for this strawbilation is Opalina. This strawbilation happens in the multi-nucleated organisms. So Opalina is a multi-nucleated organism. In most of the organisms we can see only one nucleus, otherwise binucleated. Here number of nucleus is more. More nucleus will be present on the organism. So it is having more nucleus. Number of nucleus is more. First of all, in other organisms, karyokinesis happens. Afterwards, only cytokinesis. But in this case, strawbilation, first of all, the cytokinesis will happen. The number of nuclei will not be equal for these two daughter cells. So first of all, this cytokinesis, listen carefully, it is not first, karyokinesis is not takes place in this strawbilation. Here the strawbilation, in strawbilation, first of all cytoplasmic division or cytokinesis will take place. After cytokinesis, the number of nuclei will be on both the spaces, daughter cells. Two daughter cells we are getting. On these two daughter cells, number of nucleus will not be same. If the number is less, they will produce the new nuclei for their condition. So nucleus will be equal for two daughter cells after the division. During the division time, the number of nucleus will not be same. So this condition is called as the plasmatomie. Plasmatomie means the division of multinucleated organisms into three, and they will be producing two multinucleated daughter cells. So this is called as the plasmatomie. So from the asexual reproduction, what are the types we have studied? First one is fission, then second one is budding, then third one is regeneration, then gemule formation, fragmentation. So all these types are the asexual reproduction. In the asexual reproduction, first fission, we studied about the binary fission, multiple fission, and also the strawbilation and the sporulation. In the binary fission, 4 types already we have studied. So in the strawbilation, first of all, it is different from other divisions. In all the other divisions, only first karyokinesis, then cytokinesis. Here, cytokinesis afterwards, no karyokinesis, number of nucleus will be increasing. That's all. So, if you have any doubt in this portion, already I taught all these types. If any doubts in this portion, the portion is contact number is given. All the teachers, subject teachers contact number is given on the board. You can notice the numbers and individually you can ask the doubts also. Thank you. Let's also continue. 50 minutes. 46. 46. Yeah, why very funny. Very funny.
15 minutes.
15,
1 5. 46 minutes.
So fission and its various types are over. Next one is the sporulation. Sporulation already we have studied in the types of this binary fission and the different multiple fission. Then second one, budding. This budding is happening in the higher organisms like Hydra, multicellular organisms. Hydra and some other. Budding is 2 types of budding is there. First one is the exogenous budding and the second one is the endogenous budding. See the exogenous budding, we know all the multicellular organisms are made up of 2 layers in their body wall. Ectoderm and the endoderm. The ectoderm is the outgrowth. In Hydra, tentacles are there. When the 2 layers of body, the outgrowth is coming from the ectoderm. Ectoderm, this is ectoderm. And the interior one is the endoderm. So when the organism budding, the example for exogenous. Now we are studying about the exogenous budding. Hydra. Example is Hydra. This endoderm, interior wall, ectoderm is the outer wall. When this organism Hydra is getting mature, this ectoderm have number of on a particular space, number of cells will increase and it is bulges out like a outgrowth. So both the endoderm and ectoderm, it is starting from the endoderm. That's why it is called as the exogenous budding. From the ectoderm, it bulges out and pushes the ectoderm and the outgrowth will coming like this. When it is getting the tentacles and somewhat mature, it is detached from this mother organism and coming out. So anyway, it needs the substratum for their growth. So when Hydra from the ectoderm, the outgrowth is detached, it is coming separately and it is attached on the substratum. Finally, it is getting mature and producing the various tentacles. So the outgrowth is from the ectoderm, outer layer of the body of mother organism, that it is called as the exogenous budding. And the endogenous budding. This endogenous budding is coming from the interior part, that means interior wall of the body. Endoderm. It is coming out of the starting from the endoderm. Example sponges. So two types of budding, exogenous and endogenous. So endoderm, when the outgrowth is coming from the endoderm, that is called starting the endoderm from the outgrowth is starting from the endoderm, that is called as the endogenous budding. Exogenous budding means it is starting from the ectoderm. So two types of budding. Next one, third one, regeneration. This regeneration is also two types. Producing the lost body parts are called as the regeneration. So regeneration means producing the lost body parts. In regeneration also two types are there. Morpholopsis and epimorphosis. In this morpholopsis, if the organism is divided into several pieces, whether it is a head, body region or tail region, they are able to produce into a new organism. Good example for this morpholopsis is Cliniasodium or tapeworm. You know the structure of tapeworm. Here scolex will be there, sucker, and the body is made up of several segments. These segments are called as the glottis. And the last posterior end we can see the matured proglottis. This proglottis is called as the matured glottis is called as the gravid. When it is matured, each segment, this gravid will be segregated from the body. Now this gravid or the matured proglottis has no head or tail organism, but it is able to produce this matured when it is segregated from the mother's body. Each segment is able to produce a new organism. So this type of regeneration is called as the morpholopsis. So morpholopsis means that is if the organism is divided into several pieces, they are able to produce into a new organism, complete organism. Next, epimorphosis. Epimorphosis is also having two types, reparative and restorative. So epimorphosis, reparative state, restorative state. In the reparative state, they are able to repair only the tissues of the organism. If any tissues or cells are repaired in the organism, they are able to repair the organism. Then restorative means if they are losing any body parts, these body parts will be produced in the organism. That is restorative. So good example for this restorative process is house lizard and also the starfish. So in regeneration, third process is the regeneration, and in this regeneration process, morpholopsis and epimorphosis, two types are there. In morpholopsis, the complete organism, if it is cut into several pieces, they are able to produce into a new complete organism. Tapeworm, and another one more example is planaria. Next, epimorphosis. In this epimorphosis, metamorphosis, two types are there, that is reparative and the restorative. In this reparative stage, they are able to produce only the tissues or cells which they lost. And the restorative phase, they are able to reproduce their organs, lost organs, complete organs, where they are able to produce. Here it is not possible to produce the complete organ or body parts, only tissues and cells in the reparative stage. Restorative means they are able to produce the new organs or new parts. For good example is starfish and the lizard, house lizard. Next one is fourth one, fragmentation. Fourth process is fragmentation. Like this morpher axis, here also in this fragmentation stage, where the body of the organism, mother organism will divide into several pieces and each piece is able to produce into a new organism. Example is sea animal. So many pieces will be formed during fragmentation. Next, the last process is gemule formation. In this gemule formation, it is happening only on the sponges. When the gemule formation is unfavorable conditions, the sponges will be taken like a ball-like structure and two layers may be present on the body of the sponges. Interior side we can see the special type of cells. These cells are called as the archaeocytes. So these special type of cells are called as archaeocytes, and these archaeocytes are behaving like the stem cells. And these stem cells are responsible for the nutrition of this whole organism. So during the unfavorable conditions, these archaeocytes are giving the nutrition for the whole organism. And outside of this layer, we can see the elongated process. They are called as the spicules. And here we can see the opening. This opening is called as the micropyle, and it is giving the way for the production of outgoing of these spicules, and it is giving the nutrition for these archaeocytes. So during this unfavorable condition, the spicules will be kept inside the body of the sponges, and the archaeocytes are giving nutrition for these sponges, and the spicules will come out. It is acting as the spores, and these spicules will be reacting as like the young ones after the gemule formation. So in the unfavorable conditions, sponges are responsible for this gemule formation. So now the portion is over. Complete asexual reproduction. Among the reproduction, this complete asexual reproduction is over. In the next class, part 2, this is part 1. Part 2, we can continue the sexual reproduction. Thank you all.